once said it to someone else. If you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. Now, I want to be very clear. I am not here to scoff at hard work. Not at all. I believe in work. I believe in getting your hands dirty, staying up late, getting up early, showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. There's dignity in work. There's pride in effort. There's beauty in the sweat that comes from doing your best. And sometimes, yes, sometimes that effort leads to greatness. Sometimes it pays off in big, bright, dream-fulfilling ways. But here's where we need to pause and be honest with each other. The idea that hard work guarantees success, or even likely leads to achieving your wildest dreams, is misleading at best. It's comforting, it's hopeful, but it's not the whole story. And when we present it as the whole story, we risk doing real harm to real people who are doing everything they can and still coming up short. The truth, the sobering truth, is that there are people out there working double shifts, 7 days a week, barely making ends meet. People grinding through jobs that sap their bodies and spirits, who still don't have a secure home, still can't pay for health care, still can't afford to retire, still can't rest. These are people who are working just as hard, if not harder, than CEOs, entrepreneurs, or celebrities. But they're not achieving their dreams. They're surviving, and sometimes barely at that. So what gives? The missing piece of the puzzle is that success, however you want to define it, isn't just about hard work. It never has been. There are other players on this field. Luck, timing, opportunity, connections, where you were born, who you know, whether you get sick or not, whether you have to take care of someone else, whether someone opens a door for you or closes it in your face. All these things matter. Oftentimes they matter even more than how hard you're willing to work or hustle. And I know that this isn't the kind of thing we want to hear, especially in a video that's aimed to help you relax. It doesn't fit neatly into a motivational poster or a TikTok soundbite. It's not sexy. It doesn't sell well. But we've got to talk about it, because when we only say, work hard and you'll succeed, we create a quiet, corrosive shame for everyone who works hard and doesn't. We make people feel like failure is their fault, like they just didn't want it enough. And that's cruel. It's untrue. And it lets the systems around us off the hook. There are people out there who have done everything right. People who checked every box. They stayed out of trouble. They got good grades and took the job. They put in the hours. And still, they watch their dreams drift further away every year, like balloons they're just not tall enough to reach. And they wonder why the world lied to them. Why wasn't my effort good enough? And that's the thing. Effort deserves respect, whether or not it leads to a dream. Let me say that again. Effort is worthy, doesn't lead to success. We need to stop treating people's worth as something that only counts if it gets results. People aren't just failed entrepreneurs. They're not just janitors or line cooks or delivery drivers. They're human beings who are holding up the world we all live in. And many of them are dreamers who never stop trying. Now, I'm not telling you to give up. Please don't think that. I'm not saying that dreams are pointless. Far from it. I want you to dream boldly. Throw your heart into something that matters. Chase it with everything you've got. But chase it with your eyes open. Know that the race isn't run on an even track. Know that sometimes the fastest runner trips and the slowest runner catches a tailwind. Know that life isn't fair, and that doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human. And I guess while we're here, if any of this is speaking to you, if you're nodding along, maybe feeling a little less alone in your journey, consider liking and subscribing. Not because it'll make your dreams come true, but because I think this conversation matters. Because sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is just tell the truth out loud together. There's no shame in working hard and still struggling. There's no shame in having dreams that didn't pan out the way you'd hoped. There's no shame in being tired. And there's always dignity in doing your best with what you've got. So, let's be better to each other. Let's lift each other up without pretending that life is fair. Let's praise effort even when it doesn't get the gold medal. Let's hold space